Alrighty, we are ready for round two. Let's tell the players that they are good to go, and we will get started. Quick reminder that this is a 4-round Swiss followed by a cut to top 4. Boxer's looking at a hand of Shadow Sigil Stone Scar Painting. They're going to toss that one back.
Interesting hand.
Yeah, awkward hand. They're going to keep that one. Seems like a good. Seems fine to keep it, but a little bit awkward here.
Yeah, AsheAcer on the other hand has two depleted seats, an exploit, some interaction, and a Deathwing. Sounds interesting. It's a little slow, but it does, ultimately get them to 3 power, which isn't bad for an opener. They're gonna hopefully, they want to draw some more power here, be able to develop more smoothly.
All right, Combust off the top for Boxer. Not exactly what they needed here, but it's a pretty good card against what AsheAcer's trying to do.
Interesting. Boxer not playing the Gleaming Grenadin, instead playing it pretty patient. I'm guessing they want to wait to a certain extent to be able to do something with it. I'm not quite sure. Maybe they wanted to hold it to see if it was maybe an option to be marketed away at some point.
Potentially. Here comes the exploit from AsheAcer. Actually, what I didn't even realize was that we got our preview, our Tuesday Night Eternal promo card here with our preview card with Dark Purveyor here. First time I've seen it in play.
Yeah, Dark Purveyor's been honestly like even better than I thought it would be. Not just in Expedition, but like especially in Throne. I have it in the market of my Fire Primal Shadow Praxis Trove deck. It's been really good. It just deals a ton of damage out of nowhere. But here it's good. It's similar. It also has extra advantage of Boxers running stuff like Blazing Salvo and Inferno Den, and it'll trigger off of that too, which is cool.
Right, and AsheAcer are going to stick a Deathwing here. A nice Nighthawk, Flying, Deadly, Lifesteal, Warp, 2/3. That's just so many keywords on a card, and something about that just feels right. But gonna trade that off, and actually, Boxer got some good value out of that, trading the 1-drop for a card, and then getting the Rustling also to trade for a card. So
Yeah, interesting. I mean, AsheAcer just spent their whole turn smiting the Dark Purveyor. Now
yeah,
Boxer is getting in the range where they can start playing their top end stuff,
yeah.
which is a
That
good place.
Inferno down, which they just drew. Now the Reappropriator does have Flying and Regen, but we're gonna go with the Scrap Tank here first.
Mm-hmm.
3/3 summon to play 2 Grenadin. Those of you who haven't seen this card in a while, play 2 Grenadin. When one of your other units dies, Scrap Tank gets +2/+2 permanently. So nice combo here with a sacrifice removal spell. It's going to knock that up to a 5/5. Good synergy there. Ooh, AsheAcer stuck on 3 power. It's not going to deploy anything.
Yeah, they're gonna I assume just play this Just Desserts. The danger in playing something out like a Deathwing is if Boxer just plays Inferno, then it just dies, and AsheAcer basically just spent their whole turn doing nothing. At least here they're gonna be able to hopefully trade with the Scrap Tank, but Boxer getting the sight down and AsheAcer being stuck on power is not the best of news for them.
Absolutely. And they're going to bottoms up. I like this too,
Oh,
diversifying here. Just going to attack with the Grenadin, reading.
of this.
What a
And you know what?
read.
So Boxer, I mean, that makes sense. Looking at AsheAcer's deck list, that seems pretty likely. So what Boxer did is they basically just time walked
Yeah,
AsheAcer. They played a
absolutely.
site. Now they're going to be able to Inferno Dance for a bunch. They can attack now, and even if AsheAcer just deserts something, like they're going to be forced to probably just deserts the 4/4,
Yeah,
right?
I guess you have to. Boxer just being super patient with that 5/5. That's why they're one of the best players in the world. And look at this. What a huge advantage they've built up here.
That was phenomenal.
Now, I mean, AsheAcer are stuck on power. It's not like they have a ton of cards in hand. They can't really do anything, so they're sort of priced into that. But still, definitely heads up plays by the Boxer there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Boxer was like in a favorable position either way, but I really like game. It really demonstrates that they're thinking through all the lines. They, are able to, determine what's likely to be in AsheAcer's hand in a given situation. They're able to play accordingly, which is really impressive.
Absolutely. Well, they're ready for game 2. So Boxer going to win game 1, go up 1-0. Oop, I clicked the wrong one. You gotta love that. The names jump around
I
when you're
do
clicking
this.
there.
I do this too so much.
Let's click the
So
right one
much.
this time. Here we go. All right. All right, our players are good to go here. It looks like the boxer is going to be on the play for this game.
Yep, so they shipped a 1 power hand into a 4 power hand. This hand is mostly just all interaction. Boxer's gonna keep it. Interesting.
That's a really awkward hand.
Yeah, I mean, let me look again really quickly at Boxer's market because
Who,
that could potentially make a difference.
there's a scrap tank off the top, so that actually works pretty well with a handful of removal and interaction. Who would you say is the beatdown in this matchup? Because it seems like the boxer is, but then with a hand like this, I could also see AsheAcer getting out a couple 2 drops, 3 drops, and wanting to be the beatdown here.
Yeah, that's interesting. We'll see.
Depends on the
I'm
draw,
sure
maybe.
one of them, yeah, I mean, most likely one of them is the beatdown. I mean, I'm looking at Acer's deck. I think Acer probably needs to try to be the beatdown because I think in the grindy game, Boxer has just a little more top end with all the sights, and I think the sights are a big trump card
Hmm.
in a grindy, sort of game. Ashacer probably has to try to apply a lot of pressure as fast as they can, which is hard because their deck isn't really built to do that super
Yeah.
consistently.
A nice draw here by Boxer. Going to get that Molder Muck, be able to play out that Molder Buck, and keep Blazing Salvo up if they want it.
I love that Moldermuck is ends up being like pretty good sack fodder, right? Because making a bunch of copies of itself that eventually at a certain point, once they're like 2/2s or 1/1s, are less useful.
Yeah,
But then you can like sack them, and you have lots of ways to take advantage of that. So I really like that.
absolutely. I had a fun match in a sealed league where I had a Molder Muck, and I realized early on that there was no way I was getting through damage, and the best chance I had was to mill my opponent out and just outlast them because they had drawn a bunch of cards. And you know what? Molder Muck actually chump blocks really well. You could block a lot of times with Molder Mucks. Buy yourself a
Yeah,
lot of turns. And here comes an exploit from AsheAcer, and unfortunately for the boxer, they're down to an Edict of Makar in hand, but they do have the board presence.
yeah, that was the one downside there of getting Nectar on their turn. It allowed Acer to be able to exploit them. I mean, obviously, I think Boxer still makes that play, but it's kind of unfortunate how it worked out.
And there is a visual bug here, so for those of you in chat watching, AsheAcer does not have 7 cards in the hand. They just have the 2. They have another Huntress and a Know Thy Enemy, so
Yep.
get confused by what you're seeing there.
Yep, can confirm. AsheAcer's got just 2 and now 3 cards in hand. So I
All right.
imagine this is probably just a wow,
Oh,
they pass.
look at that draw, though. Devour. When you have your Molder Mucks that can't do anything anymore and you draw Devour off the top, that synergy. All right. Stone Scar
Scrapper.
Scrapper and Avara Limitless.
I would say that Roland is a really nice draw here, but I'm looking at Boxer's hand and it's just not.
Oh, no.
It's really not going to work out, especially considering. Well, let's see. I suppose if there's a good target for Huntress, um, Roland and
Did that Know
Roland
Thy
plus
Enemy just miss? Is that just a
uh,
six
I
power
think
draw
so.
that didn't hit anything? Oh
Yeah.
no. All right, well here we go. We've got Roland into Huntress here. I like that too. You get to keep your Huntress around because the Moldermuck dies before the killer attack goes through, and you get your Deadly Valkyrie for that. Edic's gonna take care of the Roland though. Just Desserts the draw for AsheAcer. So AsheAcer again just has the Just Desserts in hand.
All right. Yeah. So I imagine Boxer's going to go for the scrap tank. Now it'll be interesting to see what they attack with. Nothing. Okay. So Geneve Merchant could get Plasma Primordial, could get Cell, could get Research. They're gonna go for Plasma Primordial. Um, Boxer again has 2 ways to answer that cleanly.
Yeah, I do love Plasma Primordial, but Boxer's got some nice answers for that. And unfortunately, it looks like Acer just doesn't really have. It's kind of out of gas here, and Boxer's got 6 cards in hand with lots of options.
Yep, and I mean even though Boxer's attacks right now are awkward, I think they're in the driver's seat of this game for sure. They've got a lot of potential ways to just start, churning through their deck and breaking through and making a super big board. They're going for the combust now on the 1/1. Okay. Makes sense.
Makes the blocks pretty awkward for Acer here.
Mhm. Yep.
Gonna take 10.
Yeah. Big beats.
Comes a second copy of Dark Purveyor. Bump their
Interesting.
first one up to a 12-3. Here comes the Plasma Primordial. So Plasma Primordial is a 4/8. When the enemy player plays a spell, they discard each copy from their deck, and at the start of your turn, play a 3/1 with Killer. So that's pretty cool if you can go back and stick it around for your turn.
I think Boxer might have made a little miscalculation doing that first, potentially, right? Because wouldn't you want to kill the? Oh, that doesn't kill it. Never mind. I For some reason I thought Yata Makar could kill Plasma Primordial, and I was wrong. That's not how that works. Let's see. Okay, and they're just making attacks. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not time anymore, but it can make it not block. That's true, and this is a lot of damage here. So AsheAcer has to block.
Oh, I love it. I love it, and that's
Nice.
lethal.
That's gonna pump up the scrap tank post blocks here. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Boxer
that's gonna be
get
lethal.
there.
And Boxer seeing all the lines.
That's right.
That's why Boxer is the player that he is, because seeing all sorts of lines that we're not seeing. But